Hey Fight Fans, Bob Rodriguez here once again for the Movement Network, and we are talking boxing. Please don't forget to subscribe. Today we're going to talk about Errol Spence Jr., the king of the welterweight division right now. And I do think that after him comes Keith Thurman, and then third place we are Crawford. He just came into the division. He only has one fight, so therefore I don't rate him as number one yet. But it's funny because I do see Crawford as the best pound-for-pound boxer, but I don't rate him as the number one in the welterweight division simply because he hasn't done enough. Okay, so if that doesn't make sense to you, then you're not a true boxing fan. But now let me take a little longer to explain this. Let me explain it in a different way. If Errol Spence Jr. Matter of fact, let me use Crawford. Let me use the same example. If Crawford goes up in weight like he did to the welterweight division to 147 pounds, he automatically does not become the best fighter in that weight division until he proves himself. But he still has the title of the best fighter pound for pound. But when it comes to that division, we still got Errol Spence Jr., Keith Thurman, Garcia, and Porter. And I think he needs to prove himself a bit more. And once he does that, maybe 2 or 3 fights, I'll be more than happy to give him the best pound for pound fighter, which he already holds in my book, but the best in that weight class. If that doesn't make sense to you again, I don't know what to tell you. It's just the way I think. Well, today I want to read a couple questions that I got and some emails. Have a lot of people asking me questions, and I'll give you a good example. Is the Errol Spence Jr. hype true or false? I think it's true. Does Errol Spence Jr. has a chance of beating Crawford? I'll answer in a minute, and many, many more. So if you see me looking down, it's simply because I'm reading the live chats, and I'll read them and then I'll answer them. So let's get started. First question. Okay, is it time to make the Errol Spence Jr. versus Crawford fight? No, I don't think so. I think we still need 2 or 3 more fights, the minimum 2 fights, max 3 fights to get these guys up there, and both of them be, if I may, even acclimated to the weight when it comes to Crawford, and for Errol Spence Jr. to collect more belts and to really solidify himself as the best 147 pounder, which I think he is. But if Keith Thurman comes back, for me, it's gonna be, well, yeah, it's gonna be a tough one because I always thought Keith Thurman was the best welterweight out there for the past 2 or 3 years. So therefore, being that he's been inactive for a little while, that's the only reason I have Errol Spence Jr. number 1, and he's number 2, and then comes Crawford. Second one, do you think that, this is a funny one because I just did a video of Broner, and I think this is a really interesting question. Do you think Crawford or either Spence could beat Broner at 147? Yes. I think a lot of fighters at 147 pounds can and will beat Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner is not disciplined enough to fight at 140 pounder with all those strong young lions. I do see Spence stopping Broner if they ever fight at 147. Again, let me go through his record real quick. Spence, 23 fights, 20 KOs, 0 losses, 0 draw. The guy's just perfect so far. I do see him stopping Broner. But when it comes to Crawford, I see Crawford beating the hell out of Broner, and 2 things happening. Either the ref stopping the fight, or either Broner quits. That's the only 2 options I have. Or maybe his corner stops the fight, 3. But I don't think Broner gets past Thurman, Porter, Garcia, Crawford, and Spence. I don't think he does, and that's just where I stand. He had a hard time with Jesse Vargas. Jesse Vargas is not the top, nobody has him in the top 20 fighter of our divisions right now. Another question. There's so many people writing so many other things here. Let me see. Do you think Crawford and Spence can fight in the same? No. Again, I give this fight 0 chances happening next, but I do see this fight happening soon. Okay, so this guy said it shows it shows the boxing is a dying sport. We don't get the fights that we want, and that us fans want, and also boxing will never be the same. Okay, you know what? Boxing might never be the same, but I do think that boxing is still growing as a sport. It's been around so long, and this is the right time if you want to be a boxing fan. This is the right time for you to be a fan of the sport. Heavyweight division with Wilder and AJ, great. I mean, every division right now, according to, for me at least, every division right now is a good division. But the division that's the hottest division right now is the welterweight division. I mean, I'm not lying there. Everybody agreed with me there. And if you don't, I don't know what to tell you. But boxing, as you know, is not a dying sport. Sometimes the thing is, it's hard to make a deal. It's not like the MMA and Dana White where he owns everything. It's just one person making the deal. He talks to both parties. Boom, we go. It's a match. Let's go for the fight. Boxing is not the same thing. We got put it this way. We got two different companies, promoter companies, and then we got the fighters, and then we got so many people in the way trying to make the fight. But boxing is not a dying sport. I don't know if you guys see the amateur fights, but let me tell you, it is hot. It is extremely hot. My son boxes here. I live in Florida. My son boxes here, and let me tell you, it's a hell of a sport. If you ever go into these fights, it's a hell of a good sport. Let's move on. But no, to answer your question, 2021 baller. No, boxing is not dying. It's not, and it's not gonna die anytime soon. So, wasn't there a story where Spence beat the living hell out of Mayweather? I remember reading this and some other YouTubers. Okay, so so basically, this guy's asking, did Spence beat the living hell out of Mayweather? The answer is no. So I saw some video and I had a chance to talk to a friend of mine, which just sounds bad, a friend of a friend that knows the inside of the whole thing, and the answer was no. Mayweather didn't get asked what. Mayweather gave Spence a really good fight. Spence gave Mayweather a really good fight, but at the end of the day, it's sparring. It's not a true fight. Every true boxer out there knows, and every fan knows that sparring is one thing, and the actual fight is another. With that said, I do remember that Spence did give Floyd a black eye, but hey, it doesn't really matter. You get these sparring partners out there to make you work and take it to the limit. And especially with Mayweather, I don't know if you know, but Mayweather will fight 5 or 6 different fighters, 4 to 5 rounds each. So therefore, by the time he gets to number 3, he's already fought about 15 rounds, so he's a bit tired. So while the new guy that just came in, let's say if it's Earl Spence Jr., he goes in there, Mayweather already got 15 rounds, he's tired, he's still pushing himself. So it's a little, you can't really, that's why you can't really compare sparring to a real match. Because there's so many other things that happen before that. They're not 100% mentally ready, and they still, learning new technique from their coaches. The coaches might tell them, hey, I want you to work today on a 1-2, step back, 2-3, or whatever the case is. So the boxer is just trying to find that opening. But no, it's not the same thing. Do you think, let me see here, let's get another question. I'm getting a lot of questions about the fight between Spence and Crawford, and the truth is that fight's not going to happen until 2019. I think if it does at all, it's going to happen late 2019. I don't see a reason for it to happen now. I want both fighters to get a couple more fights in. Let me see. All right, so this is an interesting one. This has nothing to do with Spence, but I'm getting. And I'm going to make a video out of this. I'm going to make a quick video right after this one. Do you think that AJ and the question is, now that Canelo versus Triple G got signed for September, do you think that AJ versus Wilder will happen in September? The answer is no. I think that they're going to have to make the fight either in October or in November. I don't think they could do 2 great pay-per-view fights in 1 month. You got to think about the fight fans. Most of us don't have the money to pay $100 for a fight and then pay $90 for the next one the following weekend. So if Eddie Hearns is smart, he would not make that fight in September, being that Canelo versus Triple G already got signed, sealed, and delivered, according to ESPN. Dane Raphael did a video on that already. Now, the fight should take place, for me at least, in November. It gives it a good time to promote it. I think October, it's a little too early too. So let me see. What else. Again, just a lot of questions that people want to see. The fight versus Spence versus Crawford, which is great, but at the same time, it's not going to happen anytime soon. Let me see. So this guy wrote, I thought Ugas was the mandatory for Spence. What happened? Ugas was never the mandatory for Spence, but he was never the mandatory fighter for Spence. He's gonna fight Ocampo actually today, and I think it's gonna be a really good fight. But the thing with Errol Spence is that his time he has to stop stepping up in competition. And I understand it's not his fault. I understand that Garcia, Thurman, and all those other fighters either didn't want to fight him, or they got commitment with somebody else, or they're hurt. But I want to see Errol Spence step up his competition. I know that he fought with the likes of Algieri, Lamont Peterson, Kell Brooks, Bundu. But to be honest with you, the only fight that I've seen Spence really give us 100% was with a Kell Brook fight. I think Kell Brook tested him a little bit, and we saw what he did. He came back. He showed his heart. He beat the living hell out of him, broke his eye socket. But when it comes to Lamont Peterson, we knew he was going to win. Let's not kid ourselves. Chris Algieri, if you're a true boxing fan, you knew what was going to happen in that fight. Bundu, who else he fought? Phil Greco. You know, all these fighters that, okay, fine. I need to see Errol Spence, even though I do have him as number one as a welterweight division. The king of the welterweight division right now. I did a video on the 4 horsemen of the welterweight division, which it had Keith Thurman, Errol Spence Jr., Crawford, and the 4th spot, it was a tie. I know it sounds crazy, but it was a tie between Garcia and Porter. So they're going to fight. Whoever wins, that will win the 4th spot. That was my conclusion to the video. But at the same time, I need to see Errol Spence Jr. step up in competition. And yeah, it's gonna happen soon. I think I think it's gonna be great, but at the same time, he needs to step up in competition. But I think it's gonna be really, really, really good to see him take some of the likes of the other welterweight, the top 4 of the welterweight division. Let me see what else. I say 4 because I don't know Garcia as well as Porter. For me, they're in the same weight class. I mean, they're in the same. For me, they're very close. So I'm just gonna wait and see who wins. That's gonna take the 4th spot. The other one's gonna go down to the 5th spot. So a lot of people are asking, what kind of fight? Let's see. What kind of fight can we expect if we ever see? Crawford versus Spence fight? I do think that fight is going to be like a Hackler versus Sugar Ray Leonard. I think that fight is going to be extremely entertaining. I think Spence is more of a seek and destroy, where Crawford is more of a step back. He looks for the openings, a little more patient until he has you hurt. Then he goes in for the kill. It's going to be a very entertaining fight. I think it's going to be a fight that all true boxing fanatics are going to love. And if you're not a boxing fan, I think this fight has the potential when it does happen to turn you into a boxing fan. It's going to be a beautiful fight. I can't wait. And I want to thank you guys for listening to this podcast, YouTube video, whatever you want to call it. I want to encourage you guys to subscribe to my channel, but I just don't do boxing. In my DNA, I'm a military, I'm a Marine, so therefore, well, I'm a retired Marine. So therefore, I have a motivational channel. Which is the same one, the Movement Network. We talk about motivation, we talk about money, we talk about all the stuff that young adults need to know before they go out to college. And if you already graduate college, the best way for you to get a job and start making income right away. So we just don't concentrate on boxing. I do this because boxing is in my DNA. I love boxing. I love the fighting. And starting to get a little bit into MMA, so I don't know if I'm going to start MMA too. But yeah, I want to thank you guys for listening to me go on for about 16 minutes. Catch you guys in the next one. Please don't forget to subscribe and enjoy the rest of your day. And remember, once you die, it's too late to do whatever it is that you want to do. So if there's anything you want to do in life, I suggest you do it now. I suggest you do it now. Now is the right time for you to do whatever it is that you want to do. Find peace, find love, and make sure you keep your hands up. All right, everybody.